Now, here's your Farm and Ranch Report from the Western Ag Network.
Hi everybody, it's time for your Farm and Ranch News. Well, U.S. beef exports maintained a remarkable pace in April, topping $1 billion for the third time this year. That's according to some new data just released from the USDA and compiled by the U.S. Meat Export Federation. USMEF President and Chief Executive Officer Dan Hallstrom explains what's driving this global demand for U.S. beef.
And the real key on beef is the broad-based growth across quite a few different markets. You had, of course, China continues its good trend lines, but we also got, Taiwan, Philippines, Japan, Middle East, Caribbean. Like I said, broad-based growth.
Meanwhile, April pork exports were well below the large totals posted a year ago, but U.S. lamb exports continue to trend higher, driven by Mexico as well as the Caribbean. In some other news today, it looks like the American Farm Bureau Federation, along with the National Pork Producers Council, have filed a brief with the U.S. Supreme Court challenging the constitutionality of California's Proposition 12. The state law seeks to ban the sale of pork from hogs that don't meet the state's arbitrary production standards, even if the pork was raised on farms or ranches outside of California. Among other things, the organizations argue that Prop 12 violates the Constitution's Commerce Clause, which restricts states from regulating commerce outside of their borders. Now, the brief states Proposition 12 will require massive and costly changes across the entire $26 billion a year pork industry. Stay with us. We'll have more ag news right after this.
The Superior Livestock 2022 Summer Sales Series continues with the 5th Annual Tallgrass Yearling Auction, June 23rd at the Lyon County Fairgrounds in Emporia, Kansas. The Tallgrass sale features an outstanding set of yearling and weaned calves out of top progressive genetics from across the Midwest. For consignment or buyer registration information, click superiorlivestock.com, call 800-422-2117, or call your representative today.
Well, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service has issued a proposed rule to expand regulations under the Endangered Species Act that would allow the agency to establish experimental and non-essential populations outside of their historic ranges based on a determination that climate or other factors justify an expanded habitat. However, those opposed to this proposed rule say that introducing species outside historic range would radically expand the agency's regulatory purview and opens the door for regulatory creep through additional rulemakings. And livestock organizations like the Public Lands Council have significant concerns about this proposal because it says the rule would do little to strengthen the conservation of species and threatens unnecessary regulation as well as regulatory burdens on livestock producers. And you can bet this will be just one of the many hot topics covered at the upcoming PLC annual meeting, which again is headed for Cody, Wyoming this August. Registration is open for that meeting, and you can do exactly that by visiting their website at publiclandscouncil.org. That's a look at your farm and ranch news. Have a great day.